Welcome to the Dawn Osborne Show, Limitless Life. The big question women like you and I ask is, how do we do that? How do we have a growth mindset? How do we increase our emotional intelligence? How do we do life, business and marketing, and yet still remain balanced in the rhythm of our life and our family? Those are the questions that this podcast will answer. My name is Dawn Osborne, and welcome to my Limitless Life podcast. Okay, welcome. This is Dawn Osborne. We're going to be doing some Fearless Friday tips. I'm going to give you some 5 tips today on fearless public speaking and basically find out how I was able to kick fear in the backside. Literally, I hated public speaking. I absolutely hated it. You might be able to relate to this. Even if I wasn't public speaking or I was in an event and I would see the speaker with the microphone and they would kind of be moving towards me. My body would literally start to manifest fear. It was just like, oh my gosh, my body, I started to get shaky. My heart started racing because this person was coming towards me with a microphone. And I literally thought, I was so afraid that what if they ask me a question and I have to stand up and I have to speak in front of all these people. Now, that's the power of fear. Now, I didn't know if that's what that person was going to do or not, but I tell you what, my heart I'd be having a physical experience of fear. And this was not even, with the microphone in my hand. This was just me imagining getting a microphone in my hand. And so I just wanted to share with you today because, it's full on. And a lot of us, a lot of you guys that are watching are, have got a message inside of you. And there's going to be times where you go, I'm going to be called to do some public speaking. So I just wanted to share these 5 things that I learned along the way. And hopefully that would, that you'll be able to apply them to your own life and get out there as a fearless speaker. So if you can relate to that, if you can relate to the physical fear that you have, just if you think that you're going to be called to public speak, then I can totally relate that. I can see everybody coming on. I can see everybody. Hey, Lynn. Oh my gosh. Hi. Oh, I got some awesome friends coming on today. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit sidetracked by all these names popping up, and I'm like, oh, all you awesome people. Okay, hello, New Zealand. Welcome, New Zealand. Okay, so let me share with you my 5 tips. Now, I am not a trained public speaker at all, but I tell you what I did have. I had fear, and I know that I've been able to overcome fear when it comes to public speaking because I think I've mentioned, I would have a physical manifestation of fear. I'm talking, heart rate going, can't breathe properly, vomiting, knees shaking, and a shaky voice. All of those are a manifestation of fear. It's just I need you to listen to this. It is just a physical manifestation. It is not actually true. Your body is just telling you that it's afraid of what it thinks is going to happen. But in actual fact, you have the power to control your mind. And if there's any spiritual stuff going on, you have the power to control that. So here's my 5 tips. This is what I had to get into my head to overcome these things. So that physical manifestation of fear reduced over a period of time. And now I get a little bit of all that, but it's more excitement now than it is fear. It was fear that was stopping me step on a platform or running from a microphone. But now I embrace the microphone, and now it's like, give me that microphone because I've got something to say. Okay, because the message that I have it's not about me. It's about the people who I'm talking to. So my tip number 1 is, if you want to become a fearless speaker, you have to make what you're doing not about you. You need to make it about your audience. Okay, so if you've got a message to share, what happens is the message gets lost in the fear of what people will think of you as you're stood up there public speaking. But if you can flip that and go, actually, it's not about me, it's actually about the audience that I'm presenting to, and the message that I have to give them will help them or will encourage them, it will add value to their life, then that is what you need to focus on. So my tip number one is, it is not about you. In public speaking, it is get your eyes off yourself and your own insecurities and your own fear, and release and put your eyes on your people. The moment you do that, the fear will subside. You will start to, if you look at the audience and go, this is for them, I know I can help someone in the audience today, then immediately you've taken off it's not self-focused anymore, you're focusing on the people that you're actually talking to. So that's my tip number one. Now, tip number two is, when you're going into a public speaking setting, what are you visualizing? Okay, so if you're fearful, you're visualizing it all falling apart. So in your mind, you're going, oh my gosh, I'll probably trip, I'll probably stutter, I'll probably say the wrong thing, my voice will be shaky. So in your mind, you're already visualizing a bad outcome. You're already sort of self-sabotaging it, because and you know what, when you start visualizing stuff and you start believing what you're visualizing, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And guess what? That is what will happen. So my tip number two is, what are you visualizing? Are you visualizing a negative outcome, that it's going to be an absolute train wreck, or you're going, no, this is what it's going to look like? And if you visualize yourself walking in confidence, in fearless, with boldness and courage, and visualize yourself going up onto stage, preparing your message, having a pathway of thought of what your message is, how your message is going to roll out, having at least 3 key points, having it roll out. And what I did was I shifted from the panic of what I feared would happen into this is what I'm going to make happen. And I visualized a good outcome. It was, in my mind, it was flawless. And in my mind, I rehearsed it over and over again. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to feel like. This is what I'm going to look at. And so in my mind, I had already done it. So, and then by the time you get onto the stage, what happens is you basically go, I've been here before, and this is all going to work out well. And so the peace that you have on yourself is a lot greater when you visualized it and you have good outcomes if you have a good outcome in your mind first, then you've got a better chance of not having fear hit you and attack you when you get onto when the microphone gets handed to you. Okay, number 3. Now, as you know, I'm a woman of faith, and I have a lot of audience that are know that I'm a Christian and stuff, but I am a big prayer. I literally pray about everything. I prayed before I started today. So I know some of you have got might have a different faith, but I am a prayer, and I believe in the power of prayer. So anything and everything I do that involves me in a public platform, I pray. And I guess what? I get other people to pray for me as well. So number 3 is, I pray about everything. All of the time, all day, all week, I pray. So I encourage you, if you don't pray, guys, you need to pray. It works. It's amazing. And I'll leave that one with you. Okay, number 4 tip is about, I've sort of touched on it a little bit about the visualization, but it's really good to have the end in mind. Okay, so knowing where you want to take your audience. Because you're taking them on, as soon as you get onto the stage, you're going to take them on a journey with you. So you want them to engage with you. So if you think, okay, this is where the story begins, and I want them to be left with something. You want, good public speakers, whatever platform, whether it's, in personal development, churches, motivational, whatever, it's like the message will leave an imprint on your heart. If it's a good message and it's been released well. What you usually find is that the speaker knows where it wants to take you. And so my encouragement to you is, have the end in mind. Think about where you want to take your audience. What imprint do you want to leave? What nugget do you want to leave them with? and having a very clear pathway of where the end bit is really powerful. And it's being prepared. Being prepared will reduce fear. All right. Number 5 is bring your people. Bring your people, bring your crowd, bring your tribe. Now, I have taken my children. Oh my gosh, I took my daughter once to an event, my oldest daughter, who is hilarious. And I was speaking and I mistakenly handed her the microphone. And well, that was highly entertaining. But I have to say, the crowd who were listening to her were absolutely in stitches laughing. Now, did I get my message across? I don't know. But at the end of the day, if someone is laughing and they're having fun, look, it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. So I probably won't do that again in a hurry. However, I do think that bringing friends and family and, you know, people, especially if you're going and speaking at an event that, you know, you don't know anybody, I think it's really, it's an encouragement maybe to bring, you know, family members or at least close friends, sort of like a little support group that will help you along the way, and that will help to reduce fear. So there you have it. Those are my 5 tips. So number 1, it's not about you. Number 2, what are you visualizing? Make sure you visualize a positive outcome. Number 3, pray. Number 4, start with the end in mind and leave an imprint. Number 5 is bring your people or your tribe or your clan. So I hope that has helped you today. I do have a 1 hour's training on this. If you're interested, drop me a message, tag someone who you think this will help. Share this podcast if you think share this video if you think it's going to help someone. But thanks for joining me, guys. Lovely to see you, Lynn. I hope you're well. I do believe I will see you in Brisbane. Oh, she took notes. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Hey, I love it. I left an imprint. I shared a message and I left an imprint. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to encourage you, support you, and you know, make sure that you know, live your best life, live your calling. You know, everybody has a calling, everybody has a purpose, and I'm just here to encourage you to draw that out of you so that you live limitless. You know, don't put limits on your life. Live limitless. The only limits that you have is the ones that you put on yourself. And guess what? You can change. Our mind is amazing. If we've got negative thinking, we've got, you know, strongholds in our mind, we can break those down and we can change. So I'm all for encouraging you to do that. So anyway, I'm going to go. Love seeing you guys online, and I will see you next week. We got Business Besties next week, Monday. We got Wow Women. I've got an amazing girl coming on Wednesday. She's going to share some wisdom with us. And Friday, I'll do another Fearless Friday segment. So take care, guys, and join me next week. Bye.